mentorship. Our idea consists of making a school radio system where students will be able to choose the music they would like played. We've organised a meeting with Hot 91.1's General Manager for next Wednesday. We've asked him if he can give us any tips about how to help start up our radio and how he started his. We would also like to contact other radio stations in hopes of getting them to help. We're going to talk to the local shops around Beerwah and see if they can advertise and see if we can advertise their business specials in hopes that they can give us vouchers or coupons that we can give out to our viewers.
We have started up a website for our radio station, but we still need to obtain licenses to play the music. We need a PPL license, which will cost $136, and a PRS license. For the student interaction component, we will create a Google Doc every week where students will be able to reply with the music that they like. We will use and form a blog where the students can comment on things they want to happen to the station and the website. We also have created a Twitter page for our station. We have a number of followers.
We think that the only thing that we make us stand out from the bigger stations is that our radio station is student customizable. The only help we ask from you is mentorship on how to get our idea started and on the road to success. We think that our website and project will be successful, but we need people to believe in us. Thank you for listening to our idea. Have you got any more questions about our idea?
So the only revenue stream is local people giving you coupons to advertise their product?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a digital radio station?
Yeah, on our website, but we're hoping it can expand to more.
So it's Spotify?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Because I think it's been done. Like there's heaps of radio stations out there. Like I'm just trying to understand how you would say get the students to pick your radio station over just using Spotify or Pandora or any of those applications that are out there now. Like, is that the same sort of thing? Is it any different? Can you show me why it would be different to Spotify or Pandora or something like that?
Not really, no.
No, really, so it's the same.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, in industry you can copy other competitors if you think the model's good enough. I'm not sold on it.
Yeah, can I ask, so how did you come to this idea?
The big problem is that students don't really get to choose, and that was our main thing that we're like basing our thing on.
So it's at a school level.
So I think if you pick that niche, if it just was Glasshouse, Christian College, FM or whatever it might be, I don't know what it is nowadays, but anyway, and giving the vouchers to the students and those sorts of things to the local area, that might be the differentiator, that they're going to listen to you rather than Spotify because they've got an opportunity to win something, and it's quite tangible, and it's, I can win a loaf of bread at a local bakery or something, I don't know, and it's only me competing against, what, you got 1,000 students? 11,
yeah.
That might be why. My school that I went to had its own radio station, but it picked specific times that it wasn't on, all the time.
Yeah.
So they had specific events where they'd broadcast. So if you did it at a specific school event or something like that, a fete or I don't know, whatever you guys might do, and you ran it that way, but you've still got someone to have to DJ it and all those sorts of things, and they have to be quite charismatic and engaging, otherwise. But I think if you pick your niche market and do that, you might have an opportunity.
You said there was a license cost. Can you just explain that and what is the cost?
Well, there's a PPL license that you need that'll cost $136, and a PRS license. We don't know how much that costs.
And you can
Get back a slide.
You can broadcast straight from your laptop, can you? Like you can a radio. You can run a radio from a website, can you?
Yeah.
So what are those licenses for?
Be able to play the copyright music. And well, you need both of them to play the copyright music. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to be registered with APRA.
Pardon?
You got to be registered with APRA. Or
The
is that part
the
of it?
school has one with APRA. Yeah.
Right. So would you be trying to do it to other schools, or you're just locally doing it here at this school?
At the moment, if it gets off the ground, it'll be at the school, but we hope it can go to other schools. Yeah.
I think you might find if you reach out to other schools that some may have already done this project. As I said, at the school I went to, and that's 20 years ago, we're doing it. So I'm sure that they probably still continue to do it, and they might be able to give you some suggestions as to how you might be able to do it, and then you can modify it if you're going to do it specifically for your school.
Yeah.
But
From a community development perspective, I like the idea of what you've presented in the sense that it is developing community amongst students in your school. So it would be a great tool if you got it up and running. As the others have said, you know, there are Spotifys and Pandoras and all of that, but I think you can take it deeper than that. As Patrick said, you know, to do things like your fates and special occasions and, you know, grad nights and all different things. I think you could expand the idea a little more, and having a playlist that the students like, I think that's a great idea too. But it just probably needs more thought about how that package will look. And how it will develop community within your school.
Yeah, I'd want to encourage you that you can be a lot different because it is at a local level, local students, local businesses. We could put in at a reasonable cost. You've got to find out what your costings are, but you've got to believe it first. So it was disappointing when you said it's no different to Spotify. You've got to get that inside you that you can be a lot different, and how you can make that fun for students to be buying into and build that community. You've got other projects happening that could be advertised on the radio here, that sort of stuff. So you can really build some community out of that. But you got to believe it a lot more and see that vision. Go for it that way.
I'll give you guys $7 towards your thing. Ethan, you spoke very well too, presented nice and clearly and loudly, so well done for that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I get $10 for me.
$3 for me, guys.
5.
10 from me, and just think how you can develop it then.
Okay. Thank you.
Well done, guys. Well done.
I'd like your money on the way out, guys. And I'm Lim. And two of our other group members weren't here today, so.
Our target market is for fishermen of all ages and skill levels. The need that we'll be fulfilling will be quality lures at low prices. We'll be painting and selling lures at 10% of each lure sold will go to a charity.
The resources and equipment that we will need are the airbrush to paint the lure, and I have one lure. I've got one lure here that we were trying to copy off, which is that one there, and there's no other lure I haven't found a lure I haven't found. There's a website in Australia to buy it off, except only in Germany. See, I reckon that lure has caught me over 100 freshwater fish in the last 3 years. So, yeah, it's a pretty decent lure.
And that's what you're hoping to recreate.
Yeah, recreate. Well, we need to do some different things so we're not copying off the same brand and stuff.
The copyright, yep.
So, yeah, it would be roughly the same. And yeah, the reason why it's so good is because when the water gets dark is when most of the fish like to come out, like in the end of the afternoon, when it's nice and getting cooling down and stuff. This lure glows, it's a nice yellow glow, and that gets their attention and yeah, they eat it.
The end product will look like a lure that can be used for all ages and skill levels.
We will generate interest in the project by putting ads in fishing magazines and a Facebook page.
The safety concerns of this product will be that the hooks are very sharp and can cause injury when not used in the right way.
We have organised the jobs for everyone. Shane and Harry are the advertisement gurus. Sam is the director. Sam, Jake and I are the painters. We have already organised what lures we are using, such as crankbaits, minnow, lipless and saltwater lures.
To make our product, we'll need to order the blank lures off the internet and paint them ourselves with an airbrush.
We are asking for your support on our project. It will cost $66 for the airbrush to paint lures. It will also cost us $30 for 50 lures. And yeah. And on the charity that we're going to do, will be 10% of each lure will go to a charity which we haven't confirmed yet. We're going to do the Daniel Morgan Foundation. We're going to actually write about that, but there's legal reasons that we couldn't actually use it at the moment because we haven't asked for permission. So yeah. And
So this is the lure that
that's prototype.
that's a prototype
Oh, cool.
that they're like ones that we're going to be painting.
That's yeah.
Keep going, ask at the end.
Okay, that's just one lure that we've got two places we can get them from. That's from Australia, where they cost $2.95 each. That's not including postage. I think they go down in price the more you buy. I have ordered another lure from China, which they cost 60 cents each, and they go down the more you buy. There was something went wrong with the order, which I paid $20 so I could get the lure to come so I can have it today. But yeah, something went wrong. The people emailed me that they couldn't send it to me, and yeah, so I'm sorry about that one, but yeah.
The end?
That's good.
I might start. That is very, very unfair of you because I'm a huge fisherman. So
I've seen your Channel 7 fishing show.
you watched it, did
Yeah,
you? So yeah, a couple of questions. How did you get that made for how can you get 50 lures made for $30? Do they charge you to that prototype up?
No, the guy just sent me. I ordered one. It cost me $2.95, not including postage. Yeah, the guy sends heaps of them. He doesn't. Yeah.
Australian guy makes that up for
Oh, I'm not sure if he makes it. He probably doesn't because he can get them cheaper overseas, getting made like from Taiwan or something.
So did you send him the design for him to make that up?
No, that's just he's got hundreds of designs on his.
Oh
website.
right, okay.
So.
But you're wanting to design up your particular lure exactly?
Or we'll just paint them, like buy them in for a cheap price and paint them certain ways, like the lure that you've got there that I showed you.
Right, so paint like that lure. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know a mould. I can get a prototype mould done for about $1,000 to get it injected like lively lures.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's about $1,000. I know Alan down there.
Yeah.
It's a tough market,
Yeah.
lures, as you know. There's
Yeah.
a million of them on the market, but there's always room for more lures if you're a fisherman.
Yeah.
Not sure about the Chinese way. I've ordered a few Chinese lures, but the painting is my biggest worry. Like how to do that individually, it's a lot of time and effort. You know, like if you're,
Yeah.
what are you selling them? What was your sell price going to be on these?
Around $7 to $10.
Yeah, I don't know that you can do the airbrushing for that, can you?
The paint, you can get paint 15 mils for $5, and then you need an air compressor for the airbrush. But I've got a spare one at home that we can use anyway. The guy that I got that blank lure from, he sells stencils that you can paint over to get certain patterns on the lure. They cost, I think, $20. So, yeah, it will take a bit of time to paint them, but
It's the labour that I'll be worried about, yeah.
yeah, that's right. But it's only going to be 3 or 4 of me, Liam, and our other 2 kids that are away going to be painting them. So, yeah.
I'm not a fisherman, so lures are a foreign.
You can use a paintbrush with it, but yeah, I think just the airbrush is pretty good.
Okay. Sorry.
10 because from my work experience, I worked in BCF, and there's heaps of lures there. I only found 2 brands that sold lures for under $7, and all the rest are over that, and they're pretty cheap junk lures. So, yeah. And since we're giving a certain percent to a charity, that'll get, I think, a couple more buyers in there, just because they might look good and you're giving money to charity.
Could I
I think
just ask
that is
you
cool.
about the charity and your selection of the Daniel Morecambe Foundation? Is there some thinking behind that as to why you chose that charity?
Oh, well, we haven't really chosen a charity yet.
Mhm.
It's just
It
that,
is just a local
Okay.
donation.
yeah,
Yep,
and
yep.
To get more buyers and make it different from all the other lure companies, we decided to give money to a charity.
Okay.
So, yeah. Just
You may like to think about a charity that has may work in the field of mental health, because we know, that recreation and fishing and whatever your choice is that you
Yeah.
like to relax with
yeah,
is
yeah.
very good, beneficial for mental health. So maybe you can
Yeah.
think around that a
Okay.
little more
Yeah.
to make a better match between your charity and your
Yeah.
product.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'd go 2 things with the charity. Like, that's good for locals. So if you're going to be a local business for Sunshine Coast, that's a good one. in that sense, because you get a lot of buy-in, but it depends on how big you want to make it.
Yeah.
I'm going that way. Otherwise, you go a different stream that links in with fishing.
Yeah,
You
well,
get
that's
that.
right. If we can get in with your fishing show, or you could buy some lures off us and then talk about them on the show, and people see them, and then we could get people all over Australia buying lures and stuff, and then we
You
might
want
need
that go bigger scale
yeah.
charity that can connect with fishing somehow.
Beyond Blue or
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so
Could
You know, the other thing is the
Any
10%, that's a pretty common. If you want to be different and you've got the price margin,
Go
do something a
more.
bit more special. Be different, because you said the market's flooded. But if you're different, and that can be seen, you want to leverage off the charity arm,
Yeah.
talk
So-
20-25%, you've got
Yeah.
enough margin in there, and then I'm going to buy from you than someone else. It's still cheaper, and the whole cause behind it
yeah,
makes it more appealing to me.
right, yeah.
Just a couple quick comments I'd make is there's a reason why Daniel Malcolm Foundation don't allow anyone just to use it, because you're leveraging off their brand.
Yeah.
And they've done a lot to do
Yep.
that, and so they're not going to let anyone use it just so that you can profiteer in some sort of way. So that will be a hurdle for just trying to find a charity that actually believes that you're, you know,
Got a link
you've got a link and there's a reason as to why.
Yeah.
Because I can only really see the real differentiator between buying a lure and from you guys is that charity slant on it,
Yeah.
and also, you know, maybe at a different price. But yeah, not too bad. I'd kick your mates in the shins when you see them tomorrow. Good on you for turning up and going through it. Yeah.
Good. I'll give you $20 because I like fishing. I want to see it, and I'll talk about coming on the show if I can see it. I think the only thing is, you know, as you know, like Chinese lures and all those cheap lures, there are a lot of them out there, and it's pretty to differentiate yourself. You want to make it more like a custom lure
Yeah,
somehow,
well,
which
that's
is what your paint, I guess, is what your paint's doing.
Yeah.
But that's how you will differentiate yourself in that market, because you know, a lot of fishermen will buy locally made stuff if they think it's a custom lure as opposed to just another storm, you know.
And just on the charity angle, you need to be able to source ethically wherever you buy your stuff from.
Yeah.
They don't want, a charity won't want to have their brand attached to something that's not sourced ethically, so be careful around that issue as well. And I'm giving you 10.
Thank you.
Darren just touched on something. If it's going to take you time to paint these things, whether you have a range of different ones and say, you know, we'll bespoke paint a lure for you. So you know, people might be willing to put a bit more of a price premium on it because it's going to take an effort. But someone might like the fact that it's got Pat Toomey written on the back of the lure or something like that, and that will actually differentiate you as well. So you could charge a little more for your time and labour in doing that, and it will differentiate you somewhat. I'll give you $10.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to go 13, and just like I said before, look for a win-win. Like it's been brought to your attention, not just a win for you, but win for the charity, so find something they can link together.